Welcome. 6:30, Friday, August 13th. Welcome in for another safety focus of the week. This week's code of conduct is to work to OSHA, FRA, and ECI safety standards. So any questions on a regulatory question, if it's COVID, if it's fall protection, excavation, FRA, any of the focus 4, just give me a call and we'll get to the bottom of them. But let's just try to work to our best work practices. And so far in the last couple of weeks, we've had, as you can see, 81 days without a recordable injury. So excellent job. Keep up the good work with controlling our hazards and mitigating all of our risks out there. Again, if there's anything, any unsafe condition that you need addressed, again, health and safety is here to help. And again, let's try to avoid those unsafe acts out there. This week, I just wanted to quickly highlight some of our synthetic slings. Over the last couple of weeks, we've taken a couple out of service. So I just want to make sure that we're staying up on our routine inspection, especially mid-season now, getting the kind of Q3 of the 2021 construction season, that we're making sure that any synthetic slings that have been out in use for a couple of years now, we start really looking for a good inspection to see if there's any wear and tear. As you can see, we don't really have a whole lot of acid damage or heat damage, but we do have a lot of cuts, a lot of cut and densil damage, and a lot of missing tags or ineligible tags out there. So those are what we're kind of looking for. When you see any red fibers in your synthetics, take it out. And a good kind of rule of thumb is, when in doubt, take it out of service. Here's an example of our twin path. We have some of these out there, mostly for the cranes. But again, you can see here this little tag. This is your kind of inspection here, is like if you don't see any cuts or abrasion on the synthetics, again, but if you have this visible EWI, it's called, it's in good condition. And then if it's missing, that means that it's been overworked, and this actually gets drawn into the synthetic sling, and if you don't see it anymore, then this sling has now been compromised. With the twin path, it's a very dynamic situation, and the fibers can really retract and become very compromised. So it's very important that we always check our twin paths vigilantly before we do any big picks. Last thing, I just want to talk about storage. Again, with these synthetic slings, very handy tool, lightweight, can do the job that we want them to do, but we need to make sure we maintain them and keep them safe and sound. So storage is a big one. Not proper storage is in the back of the pickups. Proper storage is in those tool trailers, kind of hanged, where they can kind of hang freely, dry in a well ventilated place. Again, just throwing them on the floor and the tool trailer is not adequate either. Let's get these things up and either rolled in and put in their own little compartment in the tool trailer, or in this picture, you can kind of create a little a hanging station for them, where you have your synthetics all nicely placed inside your tool trailer. So let's try to really focus on our sling inspection and also our housekeeping when it comes to our synthetics for the rest of the season. With that said, I'll pass it over to Ken. If there's any further questions, please contact me on my cell regarding any synthetic questions. Thank you.
Sounds good, Matt. So obviously synthetic slings are not for hot work or anything with sharp edges. And even with the big vibratory hammers, there's enough vibration causing friction, which causes heat damage. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yep.
Okay, I'll bring up my screen. Those. Do you see it yet, Matt?
We do, Ken. Yep.
Okay, good. Okay, for announcements this week, we're including in your weekly paycheck or paycheck stub that you'll get in the mail, a Declaration of Healthcare form, an HC-2, and it's required every time at this time of year. Everyone needs to submit this form, and it's a mandatory requirement for everybody. I do it, Matt does it, all the people, everybody has to do it because it's a state or federal, I think it's federal government requirement. And then you can drop it off at the office, at the front office, or mail it, or email it, scan it, and email it. If you have any questions, call either Ursula or Andrew up at the front office, and the number's there. So for new employees, we got a couple new guys this week, starting this week. There's Jarrell Stewart and Matthew Borden. So welcome, guys, and to see you on a job site here soon. Then I want to touch again upon the ECI Primary Care Wellness Program, and this is with Champlain Medical. You've heard me talk about this many times before, but I'm highlighting some of the parts of the written program in this document link. And what you should know about this, this is deep into our discussion, so this is kind of the tail end, kind of re-summarizing a few things. But first of all, acute care, that means, if you have you had a bad splinter or something, an infection, and you need to have it looked at, and you can get acute care, and they'll take care of it at Champlain Medical during their regular business hours, is the only drawback. And so no real emergency off-hour service there. But it's available free, but you first have to enroll in the program and get the yearly comprehensive medical review so they can know you before they start to give any acute care. So you got to participate in that, and you also got to participate in a meaningful way to help improve your health, because that's the overall idea here. Your visits with CMUC are confidential between you and the practitioner. ECI only knows that you're enrolled in the program because we get a bill for that. And Champlain Medical will not be submitting any of your visits to your insurance plan on your behalf. So if you are on a plan and you can get coverage from some of the services provided at Champlain Medical, you'll have to take the bill and submit that. And the program is not available for spouses and dependents, it's just employees. Unfortunately, we can't extend it beyond that. And to find out more about this program, you can click the link or just call Champlain Medical and set up an appointment, and within a couple hours, you'll be enrolled in the program. So for weather outlook, just highlighting one more day of heat advisory. So it's been pretty challenging to to deal with the heat out there. I know that just been the heat index has been very high, and it's very humid, very dense, humid air, which has been hard to throughout the day. To have a whole day of that's tough on everybody. But it's breaking, so that's good. So on the COVID policies, congratulations to Vermont, 84.6% vaccinated. It's weird, I've seen a couple different numbers. I don't know why there's more than one number. Let's see, we of course have been a while since Governor Scott lifted all restrictions. And a couple notes here. One is that some stores and buildings are now mandating masks due to the Delta variant, and we've seen an uptick in activities or infections of the Delta variant around. So you got to start to get more cautious, and certainly a little extra precaution is good. We recommend masks for unvaccinated employees working inside, and absolutely have to report all illnesses and close contacts, positive COVID test or anything like that in your household to the safety department before you're coming into work. And again, I have the Dr. Levine YouTube video there if anyone's interested. For this week, we're profiling the Village of Enosburg Falls Municipal Paving Project up in Enosburg, Vermont Falls. And then ECI is contracted with the village of Venusburg Falls for its annual municipal paving. The work includes 4 streets, or partial streets at least. There's Lower Church, Missisquoi, Pleasant, and Depot. Approximately 10,000 square yards of cold planing, and approximately 1,300 tons of pavement, including 20 to 30 tons of handwork paving for aprons, etc., and that type of thing. And we have traffic control and line striping done by our subcontractor, MT Line Striping out of Charlotte. So here we are on with the big milling down a section of, it's like one of the wider streets. So I don't know if it's Depot Street, it could be. And then laying down some mix. On these hot days, these guys are really taking it hard in the heat from above and below. Another view, I believe this is Depot Street with the hardware store or whatever they call themselves there, that farmer supply, gardener supply type place. Yep, and then there's this, I believe this again is Depot Street. I think that's the town hall or no, the opera house or something like that. Do you know, Matt?
I don't know
It's the
Venusburg
Opera
very
House.
well. Oh, there you go.
Is the opera house?
Yep.
And then coming around the curve here, any more mix? Uh-oh. How'd I get one from the last week? You guys, that's Jack and Todd, get out of there, please. Always trying to steal the show, aren't they? Okay, then for the photo archives, this is way back, April 1988. It's digitally imprinted on the old photograph. This was a 35 millimeter film or something, isn't it, with those old digital markings, and it's a scan of the photo. But that's Martin's, which is now Hannaford's over at the mall, and we're paving. There's Marty Hutchins. No, what was his first name? Do you recall? Monty Hutchins.
That's Monty and Scotty.
Monty and Scotty, yes. Yep. So AC Paving, which was the name of the paving division before we merged everything. So that's what we got for photos. Have a good, safe day out there. Remember, it's going to be hot, so hydrate, watch your buddy, and that sort of thing. Talk to you later. See you, Matt.
Yep. Thanks, Ken. Thanks everybody that joining us. Please just send me a text message or email if you're watching a group setting so we can capture attendance. And one more day, let's try to beat the heat before it breaks. So let's try to do our part to stay hydrated and watch out, like Ken said. And
Right.
On the COVID front, it is important. So let's just really try to do our part to communicate what's going on the home front. I read an article. We're going to see about 150 new cases a day for the next couple of weeks. So this is a legit surge we're going to see here in the area. So
right, we want to kind of keep it out of the company if at all possible.
Exactly. So let's just keep up the communication. We're doing a good job. Let's just not let our guard down.
Yep.
Have a safe day, everybody.
Hey, thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Ken.